If you are a Sanji fan, you should be dancing in the streets right now because last chapter didn't really confirm anything, but it gave us some very good implications that I'm going to discuss in this video. But I'm going to discuss all of it. I'm going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly because I feel like we kind of setting ourselves up a little bit. You know, it's a lot to be excited for, but at the same time, let's calm down because it can also be a lot to be scared about. So it was a short conversation, right? With 3 or 4 panels between the two, Gabon and Sanji, that is, and a lot of discussion have arisen from because it's talking about one of the most important potential implications for Sanji's characters, which is conqueror's haki. Now, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about what I feel like could be the 3 routes I'd say we can take from that conversation and what I think is the most likely. So the officials dropped today, and I think that that's important because when the initial leaks came out, they described what Gabon said as there's more than one person here that can use conqueror's haki, right? Looking at Zoro and Sanji versus TCB's translation, which is there's another one of you. That is a very important distinction because it's another one of you that's clearly talking about Zoro. But if we got 2 people or maybe more than one of you, that's a lot more vague. And it has implications that, you know, he could be talking about Sanji as well. But clearly it's not Chopper, right? And we already know Loki ain't even in the crew, so that is major. And I waited for that very reason because, like I said, we got the leakers saying that, but then TCB said this. So I'm gonna just say, you know, and from what I've gathered online, people have been saying that the official and the leakers version is much more accurate than what TCB said. Now, the first and the most negative route that we can take here from this whole interaction is that Oda is just trolling Sanji. He doesn't have conquerors, and that's what Gabon told him, like, nah, kid, you ain't got it. And that was it, that's why. Because if you look at his reaction, he's like, his mouth is open like he's shocked. His cigarette just floating in the air. We can't see his eyes. I would say that this interpretation is the least likely. But it would also, if you sat down and asked yourself, would Oda go as far to troll Sanji as to put him in this situation just to completely shit on his dreams? Like, do you think Oda would even really go that far? And sadly, the answer is yes. Like, Oda, he will take it there when it comes to Sanji. You know what I'm saying? He loves Sanji, but that's his punching bag on the crew, basically. I mean, it's just facts. So I'm looking at it like that is the least likely route. And that's the one we praying does not happen. He basically telling Sanji, you just gotta find out, you know, you're not that guy, basically. Now, the second route is you don't have conqueror's haki, but I see the potential in you to wield the power of love. And this one is a little iffy because if we're gonna assume that Gabon has conqueror's haki based off his fight with Summers, I know a lot of Zoro fans out there don't think he does, but you know, we don't talk to people like that. If we're gonna say that's the case, and we also know that Gabon calls himself the preacher of love, then I think it's a fair assumption to say that the power of love does kind of go hand in hand with conqueror's haki. If it's something completely different, then it's kind of still a win for Sanji fans because you're still finding a way to approach top tier status or be as strong as a top tier character that can damage the Holy Knights. You have an ability that is on par with advanced conqueror's haki, but it's just not advanced conqueror's haki. And therein, lies the problem. The idea of advanced conqueror's haki is just so cool, or just conqueror's haki in general. Being able to just exert your willpower and knock people out is literally one of the main reasons why we love One Piece. Like, it's literally aura as a plot device. So I think that while having Sanji basically being guaranteed as a top tier fighter, Yonko level, I would say with his power of love stuff is amazing for his character and is a definite win. People still want conqueror's haki just off the strength of what conqueror's haki is. And I think that's a very fair take. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not bad to want better for your character. I know a lot of people think nobody wanted Sanji to have conqueror's haki until Zoro had it. That's not true. I've been around for a long time. I remember when the Fishman Island scene happened, when Luffy knocked Fishman out, and Zoro and Sanji were the 2 that reacted to it. And most people then was like, okay, we feel like these gonna be the 2 people on the crew that get it. So like, don't let these people fool you with this propaganda like it's some new people ain't never wanted Sanji to have conquerors. It's bullshit, all right? I was just keeping it real with you. Now, there's also a way in that second route where Gabon tells Sanji he doesn't have it, but he thinks he has the potential to develop his own means of damaging, which would come probably from the science stuff. I think that that's also very possible because Oda has kind of taken a special route with Sanji since the post-time skip. He hasn't really focused on haki much. We know he has armament observation. Observation is his specialty, but he's literally been name dropped as the warrior of science. Like, that was his chapter name when he beat Queen. So I don't think it's crazy to say that Sanji goes through some type of scientific awakening and figures out how to beat Queen. And like, I'm not the biggest fan of the science stuff. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not mad at it. I like it if it's done right. But I always, and I said I can go find my tweets before 1-0 started. I didn't like the German stuff and I didn't like Enma for Zoro because I wanted their power-ups to feel like they earned them. And over time things have changed, it's been more explained. But at the same time, if Sanji comes through with some type of science stuff to beat the Holy Knights, like I said, it's still a W because you're getting buff scale-wise, but it's just not as cool as Conqueror's Haki is, if we just being completely honest. Now let's talk about the last and the most preferable route, which is Gabon telling Sanji, I sense it in you, you just have not unlocked it yet, and this is what you need to do so, or I can't tell you how to do it, but I do sense Conqueror's Haki inside of you, right? That's what I think is most likely what happened. And it's not me coping as a fan, I'm just being realistic. Because I don't think Oda would have Sanji in that situation, even being down there at the the underworld, if he didn't have the potential to get Conqueror's Haki. He removed his wings from the scenario upstairs for a reason, right? And especially with Gabon seemingly having it, I think it's just extremely likely that Sanji has to awaken it at some point. Now you do, like I said, you do have your alternatives with the science stuff, but I feel like it's only so strong science can make you in One Piece, right? Haki transcends all. I look at Sanji's science stuff like a devil fruit. Because at the end of the day, I feel like Sanji is Oda's experiment. He likes to have fun with Sanji, even when it comes to jokes, power, whatever. He's kind of like, he takes something from a whole bunch of characters and gives it to Sanji. You get Marco's Blue Flames, you get Flight. Well, Sanji's Blue Flame are different from Marco, but you got Flight, Blue Flames, he can regenerate. Like, he's just a mixed bag of a whole bunch of different random powers. But at the end of the day, Conqueror's Haki transcends all, and that's what we want our boy to have. So I think that this is the most likely route, because I don't see Oda, he trolls Sanji a lot, but that would be the rug pull of the century to put him down there just to eventually tell him, like, no, there's no chance that you get Conquerors, right? So I'm gonna just say Gabon told Sanji, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because especially since he mentioned Zoro's body being used to it, that's where I'm linking at. Where he told Sanji, like, this kid, Zoro, he got the tools for it. He already been working through it. But you got it in you, but you ain't there yet, you know what I'm saying? And with the pacing of Elbap so far, when we get into our big fight with Zoro and Sanji, I'm assuming that's when Sanji gotta come pull himself to the side. Like, yo, if I'm gonna be the wing of the Pirate King, I gotta turn up a little bit because I'm getting lapped in haki. Like, you ain't had no haki bloom or nothing in the post-time skip, has he? Nah. And I have my ideas for why, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot to do with keeping the gap between Zoro and Sanji at a certain distance, and same when it goes to Luffy and Zoro. But, at some point, we gotta stay in touch, you feel me? So I'm looking at Sanji getting told that he has the potential to unlock Conqueror's Haki, but his body isn't ready to fully wield it yet. Or I think his body is just because of the German stuff, but his mind isn't. And that goes into the shorter upload. I'm gonna see if I can put it on the screen somewhere where I talked about how I believe that unlocking Conqueror's Haki is similar to awakening the Devil Fruit, but instead you're awakening and you're unlocking your willpower. Like, your body is catching up to your mind and your dreams. And you're entering a state where it's like, it's all or nothing. If I'm throwing everything away to achieve my dreams. So, yeah, and if I'm gonna link that. I might just play it on the screen so y'all can get a gist of what I was saying. And yeah, that's all I got for today though. I'm gonna keep this one short and simple since we just focusing on one character and really with 4 panels, if that max. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We got more stuff coming. It ain't just gonna be Crow's Nest on here. It's gonna also be discussion content like this. So yeah, thanks.